is that? Why would black Americans and white Americans, why would people who are Protestant Catholic, why would they come all the way down to Washington?
Yeah.
Why is it that I can hear the words of Dr. King that says that there is no one that should know the longing and the aspiration of the people more than the preacher? That the preacher should be like a type of Amos. That when the Lord speaks, who can but prophesy? I hear the words of Dr. King saying that the preacher should be like an Amos, that justice should roll like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Yes, sir.
Why would we come all the way down here to Detroit? Because the people of Detroit said, Pastor, we found a political murderer.
Yes.
Yes.
Found a serial killer.
Yes, sir.
They said, Pastor, we found this political murderer and serial killer that has dead bodies all over the graveyards and the ghettos of Detroit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I said to my great people of the city of Detroit, who is this murderer? All these dead bodies of poverty, all these dead bodies. All of the dead bodies in our city.
Yes, sir.
I said to the people of Detroit, who's the murderer? And they said, Pastor, the murderer is election fraud.
Come on now.
Can you imagine that?
Come on now.
Can you imagine our forefathers looking at our democracy and seeing people cheating? And we allowing it?
Yes, sir.
That's why we thank God for these great patriots here that are saying enough is enough. Fair elections, it equals civil rights.
Yes, sir.
Without fair elections, we have no democracy. Without
no
fair
civil
elections,
rights.
I have no
sir.
church. Without
No, sir.
fair elections,
No,
there's
sir.
no reason for me
No,
to
sir.
preach and teach the gospel
sir.
of Jesus Christ.
No, sir.
Without fair elections, our democracy does not matter. That's why we came here to Washington. We came to Washington because we believe that this great country can get back to the place where we have one day paper ballots, IDs. We believe that this SAFE Act should pass, and we believe that we can be a country again, that we can trust the integrity of our elections. And that's the reason why we've come here from Detroit, and we believe that Detroit can be made great again. We believe that our country can be made great again. Come on, if you believe that. I want to invite up Ramon Jackson because he's the reason why we're here today. He is my political mentor. He is our church's political minister, and I want to bring him up here so he can be able to teach about proof and about evidence that we have found this murderer. We're going to put him in handcuffs today. Yes,
sir.
we are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're going to put in handcuffs election fraud. Come on up here, advocate Ramon Jackson. Come on, put your hands together for advocate Ramon.
My name is Ramon Jackson. I'm the plaintiff. I'm an advocate in Detroit, but I'm also the plaintiff in the case pending before the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. The case is about our Detroit City Clerk in conjunction with our state Secretary of State fraudulently registering voters who either moved away, transitioning, have unstable housing with low voter history or no voter history. These people is being targeted, studied, vetted, and then they're being used in multiple elections. How do I know? I was a victim of it myself. I moved out of the city of Detroit, and when I moved out of the city of Detroit, they registered me back to Detroit when I had an out-of-state ID to an address that I have never ever resided at. They fabricated a faulty absentee ballot application in my name, and then once I looked further into the incident, I seen that it was multiple people in our city that this was being done with. We combed our voter lists. Get the voter lists from the clerk so we can see exactly who they're alleging is voting in these elections. When we checking these voters, we know these people. These are our family members who moved away or our family members who we know that don't participate in elections. We asking them, they don't even know what an absentee ballot is, never heard of an absentee ballot, never seen an application. We have affidavits from them, we have them coming forward in these elections. As the brother just said, without fair elections, we have nothing. Everything that we have ever fought for is futile. without fair elections, we don't have no civil rights. We have no human rights. Without fair elections, we are under tyranny. We are under a total dictatorship. That means that none of the decisions is being made on behalf of the people. So we come here and we appreciate us getting this session, but most importantly, we need to take action. We need to be brought before a hearing, and people need to testify. We need to pull our lieutenant governor and our elected officials who have lost elections in Detroit through suspicious conduct. I have my sister right here, District 7. She's supposed to right now be our rightful city council. She has been losing elections for the last 12 years by a few dozen votes, by horses coming through that we don't know. We have checked these voter lists, vetted them voter lists, and we have found and proved that it was people who voted for her opponent that never ever resided in the city of Detroit. So we here today with proof. This is not about a tabulating machine. I don't know nothing about how machines operate. I really don't know nothing about the computer. What I do know how to do is get a list, and I know how to look on that list, and I know how to go to my people in my community who I know don't vote, or when they tell me they don't vote, and that's how we discover election fraud. And that is our proof. Our people from the city is our proof. Yes. And that's all I have to say. And thank y'all for coming, inviting us here. Again, we have a case pending, and we're waiting on the panel from the 6th Circuit Court of Appeal to hear that case. I gave the case to everybody that's here. So right now, if we can pressure our 6th Circuit courts to get us a legitimate, righteous panel to hear our case. I'm a black man, and I ain't gonna even hold you up. I'd rather have all Republicans on my panel. As a black man, I'd rather have all Republicans on my panel. When I look at the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals as a black man, I look at who Democrats, and I hope none of them go on my case. Why do I say that? I say that because I have been unable to get a conversation with any Democrats about fair elections. Look at this. We have no rep from Michigan here with us. We all come from Detroit, and we don't got one of our federal reps down here representing. We got Chip Roy from a whole nother state. This brother right here from us. This is who coming down here to represent us. Another thing, last but not least, the false narrative that only whites think elections is being stolen. That's a fabrication, and this shows these black people, Democrats, Republicans, Muslims, Christians, and the like, and we all here from one cause. We need fair elections in Detroit. So that narrative about only white Republicans think elections is fair is debunked. She's a Democrat. She's been a Democrat. This is my sister. I voted for her, and I'm a Republican. I voted for her not because her party, because she's the best person for that job.
Not because of
I love that. This is why we here. I thank y'all for allowing us here, but let's make some action behind this mission. Thank y'all.
Don't forget about Pontiac. Don't forget about Pontiac. Don't forget about Pontiac, Michigan.
Hey, thank you guys for coming out again. Hey, I want to iterate.